We are here in the heart of downtown Troy. Today we are checking out the third of the trilogy of mini hot dog stands. We're at Famous Lunch on Congress Street. This is another place famous for the upstate New York style, kind of like meat sauce, not chili, and they kind of have a similar way that they do it to Hot Dog Charlie. I got a couple of them to try today, and we're gonna jump right into the review trying these, and we'll talk a little bit more about the place. We ordered everything already, and it was a very interesting experience, let's put it that way. So, mini hot dog, chopped onion, mustard. So if you recall, we've been to Gus's, we've been to Hot Dog Charlie's. Now this is Famous Lunch. Here at Famous Lunch, they actually have a name for their sauce. They call it Zippy Sauce, and they make Zippy everything. As if hot dogs covered in this stuff isn't enough, I went for the Zippy Fries, which is basically fries covered in their meat sauce, and I got the Zippy Cheeseburger. I had to try that as well. That was where I was gonna end it for the day, but I ended up finding one more thing on the menu that, just to be consistent with the other two reviews, I had to check that out as well. You guys are probably curious how that bite of hot dog was. So out of all three places, this place has, I would say, the most spice in their meat sauce. It definitely is a little bit more zippy than the other places. I think that's the best word to describe it. Very good hot dog. I would say of the three, this one probably lands in the middle. I would put Hot Dog Charlie at the top. This one probably right above Gus's, and then Gus's at the bottom, but like it's a thin margin between the three of them. One thing about the Zippy sauce is it's a little bit more thin than the other places. My bun is kind of soaked a little more than the other two places were, as far as what I can tell. The onion, it definitely has a lot more caramelized onion to it. Awesome. The seating situation in there was absolutely crazy. The place was bustling. We actually came for a later lunch. I thought it was going to be a little bit less busy because of that, but they were slammed. There were orders all over the counter, and they didn't know what to do with each other as far as fulfilling the orders, as far as tripping over each other. There was a guy walking around with, you know, a big gallon of hot water to make coffee. It was insane. So what my guest today thought of was to actually, there's some picnic tables down a block away at a place called MANORY'S. So we got a couple of milkshakes, as if there weren't enough calories in this meal. Very good milkshake. I went with a chocolate peanut butter because, again, not enough calories. I needed more. Speaking of my guests, every time we have the mini hot dogs, I have to bring them along. In fact, actually, you know what? He's bringing me along. My buddy, Keith METALFROG.
What's up, YouTube? Hello again. Back with more hot dogs. No molten lava cheese today. We just kept it simple with the Zippy sauce on the dog. Also went with the fries, and I got a grilled cheese. Now, the thing that's interesting about the grilled cheese, they do it on the same flat top that they do all the other grilled meats. So they got the sausage, the peppers, the hamburgers. Picks up a lot of seasoning and flavor into the bread as they toast this thing. It's really good. There's no right having this much flavor for $2, I swear.
And that's kind of the cool thing about this place is everything there is like $2 or $3. By the time you start adding stuff up here, I think everything I got, which to me is a ridiculous amount of food, was like $11, which if you think about it, you can't even go to the gas station and get a sandwich for that kind of money. You guys ready to try some more stuff? Next up, we have the Zippy Cheeseburger. Now, from what I can tell, this is a cheeseburger with the works, just like the hot dog. Gotta try it. I think Gus's has something similar. I think we tried that. Now, I saw for a fact this is on a Freihofer roll. Nothing wrong with a Freihofer roll for a nice little humble hamburger like this. Nice amount of white American cheese, which actually blends in with that Zippy sauce really, really well. And the mustard kind of puts it over the top. Pretty good. This isn't going to win any James Beard Award or anything, but as far as like, you know, a cheap little quick lunch thing, perfect.
Perfect.
I'll go with a little palate cleansing chocolate peanut butter milkshake sip to wash it all down. And we will try some Zippy Fries. Now, I think I know exactly what to expect about how these taste. It's an order of French fries with the sauce kind of soaking through the whole thing. The fries aren't cooked terribly crispy, so the sauce gets in there and kind of soaks everything up. And it's good. I'm not really a fan of eating fries with a fork, unless it's something like poutine, but it's pretty good. As far as the place, it's kind of it's like a little diner style kind of thing. Inside, you don't really know exactly what's going on. There's multiple people behind the counter, and they're kind of going between serving the counter and serving tables. So it's a little chaotic, but you know, they've been doing this for years. I'm sure, you know, their core base clientele really don't mind it and know how to navigate it. For us, that we, you know, I think the last time we were here might have been the time that we did it for the tour review. Keith might have been here after them, but I know I haven't. It's a little bit jarring, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. It's, you know, a fun little place. I mentioned there was something on the menu that caused me to call an audible, and it's a sausage and pepper sandwich. Now, I had one at Gus's and Hot Dog Charlie, so I figured in order to stay consistent with these reviews, I would do that here as well. This, by the way, is the busiest street in Troy. This is called Let It Roll. So with the sausage and pepper and onion sandwich, they asked me, do you want ketchup? And I said, sure. I was just gonna let them do it however they do it. What's notable about this though, it's on a hard roll, so it's not on the same kind of bun as the hamburger. And I did see a sign in there for Bella Napoli, so I don't know if this is a Bella Napoli roll, but if it is, it's one of the better bakeries in the area. So enough talking, let's try it. I never had ketchup on a sausage sandwich, and there's a reason for it. It doesn't really work, but cutting through that whole thing, it's a very good sausage sandwich. The peppers aren't cooked a lot, which could be one of those things that would make you not like this. And it's green peppers, which could be one of those things that makes you not like this. But I think it's fine. When you have Italian sausage, green peppers is one of those things that's a good foil for it. The sausage patty is really good too. Definitely not like a mass-produced. It's probably a local source, if I had to guess. And it's a hot Italian sausage, so they're not fooling around with this thing. I'm making a mess. So with all the fanciness and cutting through all of it, for me, whenever I go to any of these places, it's all about the mini hot dogs. Theirs is very good, like I said, leading up the middle of the pack this time. But I think honestly, there's so much variability from place to place, day to day. They're all very good. They're all the same. I'm gonna say one more thing about the bun here. It looks like this is definitely a bakery bun, so not like a Freihofer deal. Awesome. The block we're on really doesn't know what it wants to be. It's kind of, this side has this historical section, and then across the street there's like this Vicina modern urban flats. It looks like bougie kind of apartments. So I don't know what the deal is here, but you just can't go wrong. Pretty much anywhere on this 4th Street block of Troy is tried and true and has a lot of history. I think Famous Lunch has been in business almost 100 years, or maybe over 100 years. So they obviously have something figured out. So I think that's all we have to say about Famous Lunch. Keith, am I forgetting anything?
No, I think you're right though about the variability. I think any day, anytime you go into one of these 3 spots, it's gonna be a little different. So if we went to all 3 spots today, we could have a different favorite.
Yeah, and if you want to check out that playlist with the other 2 places, I'm going to leave a link to it right here, and you can check that out. Remember, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.